Newborn screening isn't just some routine medical test. For a handful of babies, it's the actual starting gun in a race against an invisible clock. A race where every single second counts. It's honestly one of the greatest public health victories of our time, turning what could be a devastating diagnosis into a totally manageable condition. So, how does it all work? Let's get into it.
Believe it or not, it all starts with something so small it's almost hard to wrap your head around. Just one single drop of blood, taken from a baby's heel in their first few days of life. But how on earth can that tiny little sample hold so much power?
Because that one drop contains a whole universe of information. It lets us spot these rare but incredibly serious genetic disorders before even one symptom shows up. It's the key that unlocks the door to getting help right away, and in so many cases, it literally changes a future of severe disability or even death into a life of health and possibility.
Okay, so once a disorder is flagged, what happens? Well, for our first group of conditions, the most powerful medicine you're going to find isn't in a pharmacy, it's actually in the kitchen. We are talking about precision nutrition, a dietary blueprint that can completely rewrite a child's future. If you look at this chart, you start to see a really fascinating pattern. For conditions like PKU or maple syrup urine disease, the body just can't process a specific molecule, usually one of the building blocks of protein. The fix is actually beautiful in its simplicity, but it has to be incredibly precise. You take the problem molecule out of their diet, and sometimes you add back in whatever the body can't make on its own anymore. It's this delicate biochemical balancing act.
And let me tell you, the stakes could not be higher. For a baby born with classic maple syrup urine disease, or MSUD, this isn't just a friendly suggestion, it is an absolute lifeline. Without this super strict diet, the condition is fatal within the first month of life. That's how critical getting this knowledge early really is.
Let's zoom in on another example here, galactosemia. This is where the body just can't break down galactose, which is a simple sugar found in milk. And yeah, that includes breast milk and all the standard baby formulas. For a healthy baby, it's fuel, but for a baby with galactosemia, it's literally a poison.
And the two possible futures here, wow, it is an absolute night and day difference. Without treatment, that galactose builds up and leads to jaundice, catastrophic liver failure, sepsis, and death. But with that diagnosis from a single drop of blood and a quick switch to a galactose-free diet, the outcome is a normal, healthy life. It is just an incredible turnaround.
But sometimes, diet isn't the answer. The problem isn't that there's too much of something bad, it's that there's not enough of something essential. And in these cases, the solution is a prescription, the perfect key to unlock a blocked biological pathway.
So take congenital hypothyroidism. With this one, a baby's thyroid gland just doesn't make enough thyroid hormone. And this stuff is absolutely vital for brain development and growth. Without it, a child is facing irreversible intellectual disability. They won't grow properly, and they could even go deaf.
So what's the solution? It's remarkably straightforward. We just give the body what it can't make for itself, a tiny daily dose of a synthetic thyroid hormone called levothyroxine. It completely replaces what's missing, and it lets the child grow and develop just like any other kid. So you see, spotting it early is everything.
Here's another perfect example. In biotinidase deficiency, the body is missing an enzyme it needs to recycle and reuse biotin. That's a B vitamin, and it's super important for healthy hair, skin, and nerves. Without it, kids can end up with seizures, hair loss, hearing loss, and major developmental delays. So, if the body can't recycle its biotin and it's just running low, what do you think is the simplest way to fix that problem?
You just give it more. A daily supplement of biotin completely gets around that broken recycling system and prevents all of the symptoms from ever showing up. It's another amazing case where just knowing the problem leads to a simple, life-changing, and incredibly effective fix.
All right, so our third category of treatment is for conditions that are, well, they're a little more complicated. You can't just fix them with a diet or a pill. Instead, they need a lifelong plan of proactive care. Think of it like a protective shield built from constant watchfulness and early action to stop crises before they can even start. And this is the reality for a child with sickle cell disease. The screening doesn't cure it, but what it does is arm the family and their doctors with a battle plan. It starts at just 2 months old with preventative penicillin to fight off really dangerous infections. It means getting specific vaccines on a schedule and a super strict rule to get any fever checked out immediately. Parents learn to watch for things like splenic sequestration, a scary complication, so they can race to the hospital. This isn't just medicine. This is medicine as a long-term strategy.
And it's a pretty similar story for cystic fibrosis, another complex disorder. The plan here has multiple parts. It's a four-pronged attack, really. It starts with special nutrition to make sure the body can absorb nutrients. Then they take pancreatic enzymes to help with digestion, they do therapies to keep the lungs clear, and they have to aggressively treat any lung infection that pops up. This comprehensive plan, started right from birth, has completely changed the game, dramatically extending the lives of people with CF.
So as we pull back and look at all these different conditions and their treatments, a really clear pattern starts to show itself. It all boils down to one simple, incredibly powerful idea.
We've seen three main paths to a healthy life, and every single one of them is unlocked by newborn screening, right? Whether it's using food as a form of precision medicine, or replacing a missing piece with a simple pill, or building a lifelong defensive plan, each path leads away from disability and straight towards a much, much brighter future.
And every single one of those journeys, every one of those lives that gets changed, it all starts right here, with one test, one drop of blood.
Because that's the ultimate takeaway here. The treatments are brilliant, they're genius, but they're totally useless if we don't know who needs them. Knowledge is the first prescription. The real power of newborn screening is the power of knowing what you're up against right from day one.
Which leaves us with a really fascinating question for the future. I mean, our genetic technology is moving forward at an unbelievable speed. As our ability to find these conditions starts to outpace our ability to treat them, it brings up this huge question. What does it even mean for a condition to be treatable? And who gets to decide that? It's a conversation that really is only just beginning.